Hi, everybody. It's Michelle here. I hope you're doing really well today. I'm just getting a message right as I'm about to go live here, of course, right? I hope you're doing really well today. And today I'm hopping on talking about the difference between intuition, being psychic, and mediumship. And Sharon's here. Sharon, what are we going to do? You either just need to, we just need to spend more time together. Good morning to you too. Okay, so we're talking about intuition. We're talking about psychic, what psychic means and what mediumship means. Now, I bet a lot of you know what this means, and that's awesome. And if any of you don't, I hope this helps you. So the word psychic, how many of you actually like that word? Or just put in the chat like it, don't like it, or maybe a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like, so many people don't like the word psychic. I think it has a lot of meaning of, I don't know, witchy, or I don't know really what. I've been using the word so long, so I forget the negative meanings to it. So let me explain the difference real quick, and then we can go dive a little deeper. So when I talk about using your intuition, I'm talking about those abilities you have within you to get information, right? And the way we get information is unique to each person. Some of you are clairvoyant. Some of you are, that means you can see information. You can see pictures. Some of you are clairsentient. You can just feel the feelings. You can feel the emotions. And then when you tap into those emotions, that brings you more information. What else is there? There's clairaudient, meaning you can hear with your inner ears. Some of you can hear spirit and it sounds like somebody's actually talking to you. What else is there? What am I missing, guys? Seers, feelers, hearers, knowers, claircognizance. Some of you can't really identify with seeing or hearing or feeling. You just know. And I know what a claircognizant is. Someone like this. I know them because they say this. Michelle, I don't know how I got that information. I just knew it. I don't know how I knew it. I just knew it. And I go, you're a claircognizant. So we all, and some of us are a couple of these together. A few of us are all of these. One of those is strongest within you, or maybe two of those are strongest within you. That's how you pick up on information. I believe, because this group's called empaths and sensitives. And if you think about what an empath does, an empath is someone who can pick up on the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of others, but more the emotions, empathy, right? We feel the feelings that people feel. Most of us are clairsentience. And then I bet the second biggest one for most of us is clairvoyance. But regardless of what you are or how you're wired, one's not better than another at all. Oh, and Olivia's here with me. Thanks. Olivia's in the chat. If you have any questions, she'll be happy to answer them. But I'm going to check on the chat too. I'm going to try to stick with what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so that's intuition. Was that helpful? Next piece, psychic. So I want to demystify this word. I don't mean witchy and witchcraft and negativity. And not that I'm saying witchcraft is negativity. I don't know about any of those things. When I say psychic, I just mean that I'm using my intuition. Remember, I'm using my ability to see, feel, hear, and know with the intention to give someone some information. So if I was going to give you a psychic reading, I like to close my eyes because that's my conscious or subconscious cue that I'm working. So I would close my eyes and I go into my intuition, but I have the intention of getting information for you. That's just what psychic means. That's all that means. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I don't do anything different than I would do for myself when I do psychic work. Although it's way easier to give someone a reading or use your intuition for someone else than it is for you to use your intuition for you normally. because we are in our lives. It's hard for us to be objective and see different points of view in our own lives. So that's why it's hard for us to give ourselves readings. So actually reading someone else is actually easier for most people. Shan's here. I've been thinking about you for some reason, probably because I was going to talk to you today. Okay, and so that's intuition, psychic, and then let's talk about mediumship. Mediumship is just talking to people who've crossed over. It's really that simple. Like Teresa Caputo is a medium, right? Who else is on TV that's so fun to watch? The Hollywood medium, Tyler Henry. He's fun to watch. Like, they're mediums, right? They're connecting with the person they're giving a reading to, who's called the sitter. They're giving the sitter connections to their loved ones in spirit. As a medium, intuition and psychic, those abilities that you use for your intuitive self and your psychic self also play a part in mediumship. All mediums are psychic and intuitive, but not all intuitives and psychics are mediums. Does that make sense? So some people have the ability to tap in and give information to other people. We would call those people psychics, but they don't have the ability or don't want to develop the ability to tap into their loved ones who have crossed over. Is that making sense, you guys? Okay, hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to look at a few of these questions real quick. Do you have any tips with dealing with depressive episodes or anxiety as an empath? Yes, Jasmine. Go to my website. I probably have dozens and at least a dozen videos on dealing with anxiety and depression. It was my big issue as an empath. So there's a couple parts to that. So please go to those videos, and hopefully those are helpful to you. Kimberly says, how do you shut it off? So how do you shut off your intuition? So what you think you do to shut it off is not the way to shut it off. I think what people normally think is like, I'm just going to try to shut it off. I'm going to put myself in a bubble of light. I'm going to cut the cord. Right? Like, I just haven't seen those work very well. What I have seen work the best is people developing their abilities, or maybe before development, like discovering how they're actually operating, starting to understand how they're wired. And once you understand how you're wired, you will know when you're picking up on someone else's stuff versus your own. So part of why we pick up on people's stuff is because we lack clarity on what's going on within us, or we lack clarity with this like energy exchange we have with people and the world and the events of the world and people's emotions. Like, it reminds me of going to a city that I've never been to before without a map. Like, I just don't know where to go, or where, I just don't know anything. And if we have a map and we know what we want to do and where we want to go, then we have much more control, and we get to have better experiences. Your intuition's like that too, Kimberly. Once you understand how you're wired, that's when you have the ability to turn it on and off. Also, I think one of the master classes inside of Intuition Circle, I know this to be true, is how to turn your abilities on and off. I mean, it's a whole master class inside of Intuition Circle. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Tina says, makes perfect sense. And Tammy's here. Oh, it's good, so good to see you. Okay, do you have any other questions? Do you have any questions about Intuition Circle? I think I've been talking about it all week, so I just assume everybody knows. Like, this woman keeps talking about it. If you're new to this, I'll just quickly say, my Intuition Circle group is a online psychic and intuitive development program for women. And it's really not for if you've been using your abilities or you're a professional. This is for people who are just wanting to start to understand how they're wired. And I see people going through these 5 stages. The first stage being doubt. Like, what if I don't really have abilities? What if something negative happens? Like, I don't think I want to spend, what if I don't have enough time? I don't have enough money. All that is doubt. Those are blocks. Blocks exist in the doubt. So if you're having any of those thoughts or fears, just know you're in the doubt phase. The sad news is most people won't leave the doubt phase. And I wish I could do something about it, but I can't, except just come on here and share and talk and connect. And most people won't leave that phase, but if I could like encourage you or inspire you to try Intuition Circle, I feel like one of my gifts is to help people move past the doubt. And then right after doubt are these amazing things that I'm going to just quickly share with you. Right after doubt comes discover. You get to discover, like, wow, I'm able to do this. You'll start losing some of the fears. You'll start to understand how you're wired. What even happens is people start to think, Michelle, I was doing that all along. You just call it this. So things that you were dismissing that you were doing we highlight and we see those as our strengths. And it's very different to walk around in the world with the things you're already doing in the energy of considering it your superpower versus something you've been dismissing all your life. Can you feel that difference? I hope so. Okay, so that's discovery. You start discovering about yourself. Next phase is development. You've lost a lot of the fears and doubts, and you're like, I want to learn about this. I'm so interested. And that's when you can dive into all the different master classes inside of Intuition Circle. We do a lot of development. We do a lot of practice and a lot of implementation, a lot of getting feedback for one another. After that, once I see women developing, what happens pretty quickly is they start to believe in themselves. They start to see their abilities as their gift and their power, and they step into that. Like, they're okay to own it because they understand it now. We kind of also lose some of the maybe childhood conditioning of being too sensitive, being this, being that, We just start to lose some of that, which is good. So that's belief in self, self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, all that resides in there, which is just, I'm so proud of that right there. After that, I think women want to go off and serve because they'll say to me, Michelle, okay, I get it. I love this. How do I help other people now? And then that's a whole nother thing to talk about. But that's the path. So if I can just get you past doubt, there's so much goodness for you. And then if you don't go past the doubt, it's just a feeling of stuck, right? Or a block. That's what that feels like. And I don't want that for any of us anymore. Okay, Kimberly says, thank you. You're totally correct. I don't understand how to use what I've been given, but I'm slowly learning. Awesome. I would love for you, if it calls to you, Kimberly, to try Intuition Circle for a month. It's a month-by-month membership, so you can try it for a month. You have access to all the master classes, the mentoring, and the community. And if you aren't happy with it, you will get your money back within 30 days. Tracy says, I have doubt and fear. So let's move past it. Let's move past it. And the best way I can say to move past it is to come into Intuition Circle with me and let me help you. I have this saying, I used to say it, but now I say it and I really believe it more and more. If there's something I want in my life and I haven't been able to do it by myself, I get help. Although when I was younger, I didn't know any better. I just kind of stayed isolated. But now I know better now that I'm older and I'm growing and open to learning all the time. I'm very aware that stuck feeling that I get, then I just get help for it. Does that make sense? So Tracy, I feel like you might be in Intuition Circle already. Did you just join recently? If you're that Tracy, welcome. And if you're a different Tracy, I encourage you to give it a try. And let us help you move through the doubt and fear. Okay. Crystal says, I got to get past the doubt, been stuck too long. Yeah, and then you said LOL, which I know means laugh out loud, but it's not funny, Crystal. Like that's a big freaking deal. This is our lives, right? Like this is it. You get one life, unless you believe in reincarnation, then you get many. But we're dealing with this life, and I do believe in reincarnation. This is your life. I want you to just like put a stake in the ground and say, just be really honest and say, I'm choosing to stay in doubt, or I'm choosing to get help to get out of it. That's it. Like make it that simple. And if you choose to stay in doubt, then own that. And if you choose to join us, own that. Okay? I feel like I'm being a boss, and I don't mean to be. I feel all the positivity and hope in my chest like a weight being lifted. Then Tracy, you will join me. There's this, that's a sign, right? That's a sign that like that feeling, it makes me want to cry. That feeling of hope and inspiration, follow that. You deserve it. We all deserve it. And come be with a group of people who do that for each other. Okay. Tracy's a new member. Okay, I thought so. Awesome. Sarah's here. She said, I still struggle from time to time. You don't always have all the answers, but when you build your tribe of empaths, you grow. Boom. She's absolutely right. Which is weird because we as empaths like to just stay isolated. So for me to say to you, come on in our community and give it a try, it's counterintuitive to how you would normally be, right? You want to be isolated. And I'm saying do it this way. And it might feel weird at first. It might feel like a little bit of a jump, but that's okay. Like just give it a try. And Crystal said, LOL, I know. Okay, good. I hope you were okay with me, like just giving it the way it was. Okay. Okay, any other questions? I think we're good then. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Intuition Circle, the group closes to new members tomorrow. So if you are interested in trying it, the link is in the description. Also, Olivia, my daughter who's in the chat right now, we were just talking this morning and I just intuitively said, is there anything else I can do? If somebody has some fear or confusion or has some questions, and we thought about, I'm going to get on Zoom today at 1 o'clock, and Zoom is just a platform where we can see each other online. So I'm getting on at 1 o'clock. I'm going to share my Zoom link. So you can click on that link at 1 o'clock and I will be there and we can just chit chat. I have like 30 minutes. So if anybody wants to come on at 1 o'clock in my Zoom room, you can come on and I'm happy to answer any questions about your intuition, about any fears or blocks you have, or about Intuition Circle, if you have any questions about that. So if you're free and available, I'd love to see you. Olivia, could you make sure we put the link in the chat here, if you can? Also, let me see if there's anything else. I think I said everything. I hope that was helpful for you. You know, whether you decide to join Intuition Circle or not, of course, that's totally up to you. And I just say, send me the people I can help. But beyond that, I hope this week was helpful for you in some way. I hope you got something out of it or felt inspired or hopeful or just something that helped you feel better in your life. Okay, I hope that was helpful again. Have a great day. Bye.